Another usage of blockchain technology is smart contracts. Okay, now my understanding of contracts, because my background is real estate. Okay, I started with real estate and I still do real estate. Is contracts basically needs two things, a couple of things. Okay, and I'll share a few things that you will see in a contract. Okay, in a contract you have the parties involved. Okay, so let's call that one thing. You have the terms, like, okay, we're signing a contract. Well, it's an agreement. Okay, and what are we agreeing to? That will be the terms, right? So that's two, right? There's also something called the consideration. That means how much is involved in the services or whatever we're exchanging together, right? So in layman term, that will be how much are we buying a house for? We're exchanging a house for how much, right? The value of the contract, consideration, right? That's the technical term for it. So term, consideration of the parties, right? The terms can be multiples, obviously. Like you can state that this is term number one, we do this. Term number two, we do this. That's the agreement as a whole. It's an agreement, has terms, consideration, and the parties involved. But there's another element that's usually involved, and that's the legal system. If there happens to be any kind of problems, we can also call it the authority that backs the contract, right? So you have the legal system in any developed nation or popular nation, even if it's underdeveloped, right? You have the court systems. You can take a contract to court and stuff like that. Now with smart contracts you can remove that. Okay, smart contracts, you remove that because the actual contract is recorded into blockchains. Okay, so they are just like you verify, because when you look at currency, you exchange currency for goods. That's actually a contract being established in that point in time. But contract as we know it expands just beyond just exchanging goods, right? There's also terms. So you can also have terms when you have smart contract, and they are recorded by blockchain. Okay, and they're governed by blockchain, such as Ethereum is the most popular of them for smart contracts, and that's why Ethereum is such a hot thing in the world of cryptocurrency right now. So if you look at the definition here, it says by Investopedia, a smart contract is a self-executing contract, because you don't need the authorities. You don't need New Jersey to write up the contract for you. It's all written in code on a blockchain, with the terms of the agreement between buyer and seller being directly written in lines into lines of code. The code and the agreement contained therein exists across a distributed, decentralized blockchain network. Okay, all right. Smart contracts are self-executing contracts. We just said that, right? Nick Szabo, an American computer scientist who invented a virtual currency called Bitcoin in 1998. Did you know the first virtual currency was in 1998? Defined smart contracts as computerized transaction protocols that execute terms of a contract. Okay, so the terms are a big part of any kind of contract. What are we agreeing to, right? And it could be 10, it could be 1, it could be 20 pages, right? Bottom line, it's a contract, and this blockchain technology manages the whole thing, and you call them smart contracts. You call contracts smart contracts when they are recorded on a blockchain and it's open source and everyone can verify it using these digital codes. But again, as usual, blockchain it's traceable because it's open source, everyone can see it, not with the naked eyes, of course, right? Traceable, transparent, and irreversible. Once you establish the contract, you cannot go back and say I didn't do it. It's recorded. You know how people say, no, I did not sign that contract, I'm just going to deny it. It doesn't work like that. It's actually because it's coded, hard coded for life, and the only way you can reverse it is normal protocols. You can like void it, and there will be terms associated with voiding it that creates a new smart contract. I can imagine, right? So that's the layman way I can explain smart contracts to you. But just think of it as, hey, this world is going in a direction where everything is just automated. Everything is automated. Everything is recorded in computers, and that's the world we're living in. Everything, Internet of Things. There's something called Internet of Things that we'll talk about later, where every gadget in your house is actually connected to every gadget in other people's houses, even 3,000 miles away, right? So you can expect more of that. So today let's leave it at that. We